Yeah, so welcome guys to the session on Classic CV. I was asking the host Saurabh, who is currently working as a recruiter at a startup. I will not name the startup here, but yeah, he's working as a recruiter, right? So Saurabh, can you tell the importance of a CV? How important is a CV for anyone?
Yep, absolutely. So, guys, a big welcome to you all. You have joined this session. I'm sure you must be looking to trying to understand how do you make a CV, what's the importance of it, and what do recruiters look in a CV. Me being a recruiter, I'll share my insights. So, kicking things off, what is the CV, and why is it important? So, as a recruiter, my insights that I'll be sharing is CV basically tells me who you are as a candidate. Okay. What skills you have? Why should we take you in our organization? And if, let's say, I suppose select you for further rounds, what can I expect from you? Uh, that's the basic insight that what and why you need to make a CV. Coming to what's already being displayed in the presentation, CV, it's a document that tells you who you are, your skills, and your achievements. Yeah, achievements is something that we also look at because that tells if that candidate in our organizational will excel, like he'll do well exponentially and or not. So achievements actually show that you have gone went out there and given your more than 100%. That's what your achievements tell us. Next is obviously a CV is a sales pitch, a pitch that you are making to someone for them to hire you. So it's a way for you to market yourself. Okay, it is a way for you to create a positive impression. Moving on, we as recruiters use it to shortlist potential candidates. uh, Now initially we the volume of CV that we used to receive was in, let's say, not that high amount. We had, let's say, 100, 200, 300 CVs. But nowadays, let's say if you go for campus placements, colleges have a batch strength of 600, 700, 800. So it's not possible for recruiters to look at all the CVs individually, even if we look at them for like 30, 40 seconds. That's not possible. So we tend to use AI. Uh, there is a music playing.
No, now everything is fine.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So it's basically, it's a need for us as recruiters to use AI. And I'll talk more about AI in the coming sections as to what it actually does. Okay, and how you can also use AI to help yourself in that regard. Uh,
Yeah, and we will also discussing on how you should not use AI to ruin your already made CV, right? So nowadays, everyone is like, okay, I will use AI for this thing, and my CV will be absolutely perfect. But that is not the actual case, right? As a HR, first of all, guys, I'm also from an MBA HR, so I also know about CVs, like. So as an HR, we understand, and we got to know that where you are using AI, where you are not, right? So we will be discussing all of that moving forward. So before that, let's take the agenda for today. So today we will discussing the importance of CV, how to make a CV, okay, right? AI made CV, and of course, as mentioned, we will be sharing you 50 plus premium templates of CV, right?
Also, I'll add that in the end, for those guys who have actually joined in and taken the pain to sit at 10 at night and be a part of this session, I'll actually be using my recruiter account to show you how I screen a CV, how much time do I spend, what things do I look at, and I'll show you some examples of CVs that I've shortlisted and CVs that I have rejected. Some of them just because the format of it, how it went, and how what's the first impression that I got in the initial first, like the 1 second when I take a look at CV, I get an impression, and that impression actually does uh, actually result if you are gonna get a shortlist or not, especially once you come out of your B school. We'll also talk about the process, how B schools, shortlist candidates. It's a bit different
Yeah.
in B schools. Once you step out of the B school and come to the real world, then CV shortlisting is a bit different. Okay, so we'll also get into that aspect, and I'll try and share some insights. So I think it's going to be a very fun session. Let's get it started.
Okay, so if Saurav is providing something bonus from his side, so why not I? So in the end of the session, I will be actually reviewing one CV from your side. So I will ask any one of you to share your CV, and I will be reviewing that as a HR point of view, right? So let's move on. Okay, so Saurav, yeah.
Yeah. So what we as an HR look for in a CV. So we, or let's say an AI or ATS, whatever software that we use to source applicants, we have for a certain role some keywords. Okay. Let's say if it's a technical role, I'll have some keywords. If it's a not technical role but requires some sort of, let's say, software skills, I have certain keywords. Or let's say, even if I'll take an example of, let's say, product manager, something that some of you might be aspiring to get into. So for that, I have a keyword. I am looking for product road mapping, Jira. I'm looking for R&D. I'm also looking for the product road mapping word itself, wireframing. So I have these keywords. Now, if let's say you are making a CV in that regard for, let's say, a product manager, you must have those keywords. Okay, so because that is what we as an HR and the ATS or the AI will be looking at. So that is what is very important. Now, ATS does not actually, or the AI does not actually look at the overall format of how you have drafted things. Okay. But as an HR, I look at it. I see what you have mentioned first, what you have mentioned second, and what you have mentioned third. And one of the things that I'll share is now you have to make it very easy for me to understand your CV. If it's way too difficult for me to understand, I don't know whatever
Mm.
you have written, okay, it's useless because I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to understand who you are. And all these things have to happen within a minute because barely any HR, I do not know any HR who spends more than a minute while screening a CV. They may spend more than a minute or, like, let's say 5 minutes after you have been shortlisted. But in the initial screening, my learnings from what I have gathered from senior HRs who have been screening for executive roles as well. They say that initially they look at a CV for like 5 to 3 seconds. So if that's the duration that your CV is going to look, I mean, somebody is going to look at your CV. Therefore, you need to have most important details in the beginning. That's what we as an HR look for, and I've already shared what ATS actually looks for. Also, Ayush spoke about use of AI. When we look at a CV, okay, all those nice words that you use, adjectives that you have written for yourselves. The funny thing is ki we look at, let's say, around 50, 60 CVs every day. And the chat GPT or any other form of AI does not give everyone a different sort of structure with the adjectives. Like there are only 5, 10 adjectives that keeps on repeating in every CV every day. Okay, so you may think that I have changed a word, but the structure remains the same. And for us as an HR, now we can pick that structure because we have been looking at 60 CVs every day. And we do it for like 30, 40 days or 2 months, 3 months, whatever the time period is. And when that happens now, our brains actually pick that up. You might not think that we are that smart enough to understand if it's from generated from AI or not, but yes, we have that. How
Yeah.
the verb is written, in which it's the third verb or the second word is a verb, or what is the action word, everything we are able to determine. So you have to be very cautious when you're using AI. Use it to make your CVs free from grammatical errors, because that is something that we expect nowadays. Since you have AI, we expect that you will be smart enough to use it to remove grammatical errors or spelling mistakes, but then not make it too obvious for us to show that you have not taken the effort yourself to work on your CV and it's everything is generated from AI. Yeah. So I think Ayush, you want to add something, or we can move on?
Yeah, that's totally fine. देखो guys, the thing is like it's about a Maggie. एचआर वो मैगी रोज खाता है। अगर आप बस मसाला हल्का सा डाल दोगे तो आप ये नहीं कह सकते ना ये तो बिल्कुल अलग चीज है। मैगी तो मैगी ही होती है। तो आपको लगेगा कि वाह यार आई एडेड मसाला और एक तो अब बिल्कुल अलग डिश बन चुकी है ये। मे बी आपके लिए हो वो, पर जो रोज ही खाता है दिन में 10 बार 20 बार उसके लिए तो वो अब भी मैगी ही है। सो या ऑफ कोर्स द थिंग इज ना कि अगर आप मसाला अच्छे से रखो एक्चुअली अच्छे से यूज करो तो मे बी अच्छा लग जाए कि वो दिस इज नाइस। बट थिंग इज ना कि अगर आप थोड़ा भी ऊपर नीचे करें तो दैट विल साउंड लाइक कि आपने और खराब कर दिया, राइट? So sort of covered everything. And I will say that as a HR, a person looks for actually a job fit, right? If I'm hiring for an HR job, I will try to look in your CV for something which actually connect you to an HR, right? Like for example, let's say I'm hiring for a marketing role, right? So I will find something in your CV which help me to decide that okay, in your past or somewhere you have actually done something based on target, right? Like in sales role, you have to achieve some targets, right? So I will look for your past experience or past internship and everything like that. I will try to find out something like that where I can actually make connections that okay, you are able to make the sales role or sales target, right? So in this way, we look a CV completely different for different roles. अगर एचआर के लिए तो हम ऐसी चीज खोजेंगे जो आपको एज अ ह्यूमन पर्सन पीपल पर्सन शो करने की कोशिश करे, कनेक्शन वहाँ एस्टेब्लिश हो पाए एंड वाइस वर्सा, राइट? Okay, so guys, we are going to see a real CV. So guys, let's not make the session so boring. So please use the chat box. Are you guys ready for this?
I can see a lot of yeses. I guess they are ready.
Yes, so they are alive. Okay, so here we go, guys. Okay, so coincidentally इसका नाम भी आयुष है, but this is not me. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, so this is a dummy CV that I created, and the inspiration for this was definitely Ayush because he is our founder and our boss. So uh, that's where the similarities end, I guess. Coming to this CV, actual CV. So this is the format that I have chosen. This is the format that you will be using once you get into the B school, uh, because it's a very standard format. First is your name, then towards the right side comes your contact details, then just below that comes your acads. A big question that people ask.
So sort of just a second. Just a pause, guys. Okay, guys, तो आप लोग बताओ कि आप लोग के यहाँ ऊपर में किसी का इमेज लगा दिख रहा है, और आप लोग ना कितने आप में से ऐसे लोग हैं जो अपना फोटो यूज करते हो रिज्यूमे और सीवी के ऊपर, राइट? यस और नो? मैंने बहुत सारे ऐसे सीवी रिसीव किए ना, पिक्चर लगी हुई है लोगों की। नो? ओके, और गाइस नो नो? यस, ओके, आई फाइंड वन, एक यस तो आ गया। ओके, अभी तक यस, अच्छा। ओके, so sort of anything on this, we should use our photo or not on our CV?
I'd say that does not do any, that does not help us in any way
Yeah.
because we are not hiring for your face. I mean, that's the most simple way of putting it, right? Because we are hiring for your skills and
Hmm.
we are hiring for what you will bring into the organization. I also have seen when I screen, I see picture people have added their photos on their resume. But that I mean, I do not care if you have used a little small photo in one corner, trying to introduce because that does not tell me who you are. And what, as I said, what I want from you, I'm looking for these skills or these experiences that you have had or competencies. That's the word that we use. I am looking for competencies. Are you competent enough to join my organization? Okay, and are you competent enough for the role that I'm offering you? So photos don't do you any help. Okay, it only takes away that amount of space that you could have used to maybe showcase something else that may
Yeah.
actually bring in and add value.
And I will see this other ways कि भाई क्यों एफर्ट डाला है, what are you actually want to show us? मतलब एचआर को शक्ल क्यों दिखानी है तुम्हें? क्या डू यू एक्चुअली थिंक कि अगर मैं फोटो लगा दूंगा तो उसको पसंद आ जाए और मुझे हायर कर लेगा? सो एक्चुअली दैट अनॉयज मी एक्चुअली रियली, क्योंकि भाई मुझे नहीं चाहिए होता है। मुझे चाहिए होता है कि जो डाटा आपका है सीवी पे, मैं वो देखने के लिए खोला हूँ आपका सीवी। आई नेवर ओपन अ सीवी टू जस्ट लुक एट योर फेस। ऐसा काफी बार मेरे साथ हुआ है, जो ओपन करता हूँ मुझे फेस दिखता है, बंद कर देता हूँ। दैट्स एन एक्चुअल केस हैपेंग विथ मी एक्चुअली। या सौरभ, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड।
Yeah, so coming to the ACADS, this is a very big question that everybody asks. I'm sure you guys also, have asked me quite a few times, and I asked Ayush as well. Do ACADS matter? And the short answer is yes, they matter, but they only matter till you are in a B school. Once you are out, they don't matter. Even in the documents that I'm going to show you at the end of, obviously it does somebody is saying it matters in SIP. Yeah, it does. As I said, it matters till you are in B school. After that, it does not matter, because I'll tell you, in some of the CV that I'll be sharing with you at the end of the session, they don't even have like all of the acads mentioned. They only have the degree, and I'm perfectly fine with it, because I do not care how much they have scored, because at that point of time they have some sort of experience. So I can better judge him or her based on the experience that they have, rather than what they have scored in, let's say, undergrad or MBA. So that's not a correct metric, the acads. But since you guys are going to a B school and coming out fresh, they do matter. But with that, I'll also say that all is not lost if you don't have very good acads. Or if you, even if you have bad acads, all is not lost, because as we will discuss later in the session, there are ways to build your CV and add that some factor which, when an HR sees, be like, "Acha, theek hai, this guy, I'll give him a chance. Let's call him for an interview." And that's what all you need. Okay, you need that opportunity to sit into that interview. You want to face that panel, and then you practice on your interviewing like skills. You practice, you take multiple PIs and build your skills. Okay, you can take help from anyone. You can take help from us if you are planning to practice your interview, and take mock page. You can take help from us. There are other platforms as well that you can. So CVs, you want to build a CV that will actually get you a shortlist and a face with the HR, face to face interaction with the HR. That's what you want. So acads do matter. Yes, they do matter, but it's not the end of everything. This guy has got good acads. I'll say 8, 8, and 8. So he has a very good acad, and probably he'll be getting a lot of shortlists in the SIPs and in the finals as well. Moving on.
Especially in the finance role.
Yeah. Moving on, academic achievements. So these are achievements that express that, maybe when you were in school, you went out of your way to do something. It was not required. You were not required to score 99 in a mathematics now, because 90 would also do. You'll clear it. Maybe your parents would also be happy. Okay. But you went on, you had the dedication that you scored 99. So that is an achievement, academic achievement. And you can write your achievements here. That just shows that you put in that extra effort. And do we look for it as an HR? Absolutely. We look for it, because as I said, this shows that, let's say, if I give you X amount of work, you'll put in more than required and you'll do a better job. So we do look at academic achievements to some level. Certifications and publication, these are again required for a certain roles. Let's say this guy, whom we have taken example, he has done NCFM, financial market. So probably this is something that, if you are applying for financial, this might help. CFA, again, if you have done CFA, then you probably have a very strong chance of converting and getting shortlist from finance roles, finance companies. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they'll at least give you a chance to sit for the interview. Again, this guy has done KPMG Lean Six Sigma, so probably this guy wants to do something in operations as well. This is quite a diverse profile, I must say.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Finance, एकदम से operations.
yes, I mean, this guy is probably is quite talented. Uh, Moving on, your professional experience. Does this matter? See, in your SIPs, acads, as I said, matter. Achievements, they matter a little bit. They don't matter too much, but if you have them, good. Professional experience. Does this matter? Yes. If you have professional experience, that takes a priority over your acads, because as I said, I can better judge your skills, your competencies based on your experience rather than marks that you have had in undergrad. So these take a priority. This guy has worked in TCS, again, a good brand. So that shows that this guy must have some sort of credibility, because a company like TCS actually, got this guy, and, they gave him, he worked for like 17 months. So he must have had some sort of good quality experience, because these companies, they have a set recruitment structure, and they also train you for skills. So the TCS is known for its L&D program. So many people, join TCS at a very not so handsome salaries. They work for TCS for quite few years, okay, and they upskill themselves, and then they step out. Then they join another company. So that's how also your professional experience is looked at. It's just based on the companies that you have been. Okay, obviously roles and responsibilities is something that is looked uh, to find those keywords. When I am looking this, let's say as a recruiter, now I'm talking, if I look at a professional experience, what do I look at? I look at numbers. If this guy has quantified anything, I achieved 69% growth or 10% growth. I did a cost reduction of 15%. I took my product and expanded it to 8 markets, 6 markets in 6 months. This is quantification. So this tells me that this guy is objective oriented. He is outcome oriented. He is very focused towards the outcome. Okay, that is why he has quantified everything. Do I want this guy? Absolutely. I would do anything to have this guy, because this guy will work and also focus that his work delivers an outcome. So that's how I and most recruiters, I mean, all recruiters look at your professional experience. I mean, Ayush, do you want to add something?
Yeah, as Saurabh said ना कि he is going to hire this guy. Just think guys कि ये बंदा हायर हो रहा था, राइट? अगर इसे सीवी में इसने ऐसे नहीं लिखा होता, अगर एचआर को ऐसा पोर्टफोलियो पे नहीं आया होता, तो क्या सौरभ ऐसा सोचता? मे बी नॉट, बिकॉज वो पता चलता ही नहीं ना कि जिस बेसिस पर अभी हायर कर रहा है वो बेसिस वो सीवी में है ही नहीं. तो हाउ द गाय सेम गाय इज गोइंग टू बी हायर्ड? So that is actual the importance of CV. Actually, the importance of CV. कि a CV actually make you express yourself, because you are just a single page in front of an HR. जब तक आप इंटरव्यूज में नहीं जाते हो, उससे पहले the HR knows you only by your CV. So that is the actual importance, right?
Yes, absolutely. And somebody was asking if he has done CFA, he has done CA, or she, would CFA also be required? No. I just took an
No, no,
example
not
of
at all.
CFA.
Yeah.
If you have done CA, well, that's a very difficult course to do, right? So you'd obviously be getting shortlist from finance companies.
इट्स लाइक कि आपने अहमदाबाद से एमबीए करा है, आप सोच रहे हो ऑनलाइन एमबीए कर लूं एनएमआईएमएस से.
Not the good analogy, okay, but I'll let this one.
Yeah.
The other question was, do recruiters do background check of the quantifiers in CV? Not necessarily, yeah. They may, if you have, let's say if we are hiring for a very high exec role, okay, they may call your previous company to check for it, because the stakes are very high. Okay, or they may have some other sources to verify what you have said. But usually we don't do verify checks, because see, the thing is, as I said, we screen 60 CVs every day. Okay, and I speak to like more than 30 candidates every day, conducting their round one interviews. So after a time, you get to know who is lying how, and you know how to trap them. You ask them a certain question about a quantifier that they have quantified, and they'll get stuck, because it's not natural. They are fabricated, so they don't have a story behind it. And once that happens, it's the end of it. So most people do not, do not lie. That's what I have seen across. They do not lie too much on the CVs. I mean, there are off cases who try and think that they are smarter than us, which might be the case. They might be smarter, but yeah, that is very rare. And if you try and fluke, most likely you'll get caught,
Hmm.
because we have several rounds of interviews. It's not just one.
Yeah, that's the main catch. Yeah.
Yes, I screen for one round, then I'll send it to the technical team. They'll ask you technical questions, and then I'll send you to the senior HR who will screen you for organizational fit and cross check all the details that you have given. And I, as a recruiter, make notes. So whatever you have said, you may not realize, but I scribble, and then at the end of the interview, I give my feedback. This guy said this, and these are the reasons. This. Once you go for every round, the other panel will actually see all those comments. So if you have lied in one interview, and let's say after 2 weeks you have the third round of interview, and if you say something else, they'd immediately realize that this guy is lying, because initially he said something, now he's saying something else, and they'll catch you, and you'll
Yeah.
rejected, blacklisted. These things can happen. Moving on, internships and projects. If you guys are freshers, don't have workex, then this is very important for you, because this is the next to uh, professional experience. You have actually been I mean, worked as an intern in an actual organization. Probably you worked full time from office, or you probably work from home, but you worked full time. Okay, so that brings in value, because you were actually responsible for something. You actually had deliverables that you needed to do, complete. Whatever you learned, you had to apply. And whatever you did not have prerequisite when you were joining the program, you probably upskilled yourself during that internship period or during that project. And you figured out how to, problem solve. That is something that is very important. So that's why internships are very important for freshers, because they'll simply ask you, what did you do in this internship? And again, the same way of writing about internships, quantify, say that you have done this, and you achieved these numbers. For example, let's say this guy has said, I did market research and analysis. I can, if let's say I'm hiring for a marketing role, I know this guy has done market, it's in bold as well. So it's easy for me to read. So this guy has a high chance of me giving him a shortlist. But then again, one thing that I'll point out, this guy has not given any numbers. In how many months, what was the output? So again, this guy may be good, but he's not that smart. Uh,
Guys,
moving
look for a second pointer. Helping delivering the to business strategies for clients like Reckitt Johnson and Johnson, right? He was intern at ABC Limited, right? उसने क्या किया? He used the actual names of the companies जिसके लिए उसने strategy बनाई थी. अब जब 21 का सीवी स्कैन करेगा, तो 21 is not only scan the ABC Limited, the 21 will also scan for Johnson and Johnson and Reckitt. So this was a smart move from that guy, right?
Absolutely. The ATS, I mean, as a recruiter also, I'll know, oh, this guy has worked with Reckitt and Johnson. Probably they have a very high standard of deliverables. Okay, and they
Yeah.
expect a minimum level of output from you. And if this guy has worked with them, then probably this guy must have delivered at that level. So it's something nice to have. He has actually associated himself to these brands very smartly,
Yeah.
and this is very important. And
Yeah.
that's how some, you, even if you have a normal CV, you can make it and turn it into absolutely something else. Also,
Yeah.
I point out right now here, if you guys see, most of the lines of the pointers start with a verb.
Hmm.
Conducted,
All one.
helped, the second internship, evaluated, helped. And Ayush, I'd ask you to go back to the previous slide, so if we can see if this guy is smart enough to use that in his professional experience as well. Responsible. Okay, so he did not use. He used coordinated. So probably he missed out on using like something else instead of responsible, but he used coordinated. So that is also an action verb. See, it's very important for you to use action verbs, because that says that you believe in action, you believe in doing. And this is something that, what I have been told, AI is also use for you to shortlist. More keywords like starting from action verbs are better for you to get a shortlist. We can go back to the next slide, Ayush. Yeah. So we talked about internships and projects. This is very important. If you're a fresher and if you don't have, let's say, very good acads, they'll straight away come to. I mean, this is a topic that is used to kick off the interview if you don't have any work ex. So it's very important to have internships and projects. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So next
And
one.
guys, just a quick question for you all. How many of you are a fresher?
Come on, guys, tell me.
Yep. Good number of freshers. Okay, and how many of you are fresher with zero internships or live project? Me. Okay. And I believe that if you are here, you must have converted or on the edge of converting some B school, right? इंटरव्यू में तो आप बोल के आए होगे कि अब तक इंटर्नशिप नहीं कर पाए, टाइम नहीं मिला, कॉलेज था, वगैरह वगैरह. एज सुन एज यू ज्वाइन द बी स्कूल दे विल डायरेक्टली आस्क यू कि बेटा 2 महीने टाइम अभी मिला था, अभी क्या किया तुमने, तुमने अप्रैल से जुलाई तक किया क्या है, तो वहां क्या आंसर करोगे?
It's fine. Technical field is fine, Karthikeya. Uh,
लुक गाइस, नो इंटर्नशिप से अच्छा है कुछ तो है, किसी चीज में तो है, राइट? सिंपल.
yeah, projects
So
karo.
guys,
See,
या
also
दिस इज वेरी क्रिटिकल टाइम फॉर यू. अगर अभी कुछ नहीं है तो अभी टाइम है, 2 महीने अभी भी ऐड कर सकते हो. और द मेन कैच ना, बी स्कूल ज्वाइन करोगे विद इन 1 मंथ योर सीवी विल बी फ्रीज्ड. आप कुछ चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो फिर उसमें, नो ऐड नो सब्ट्रैक्ट, राइट सौरभ?
yes, yes. Your CV actually you get so less time to prepare also. Yeah, once you are in the let's say the first month is one of the most hectic and tough months. You will have lots of work. Okay, you will get barely like 4 hours of sleep. And right now you are getting probably 8 9 hours because you're at your home. Okay, so this transition will actually be very tiring for your body. So your body will take time to accommodate. And by the time, let's say in a month, you get accommodated to that sleep cycle, to that habit, to that workload, to that different peer group. It's already been a month. Okay, and you have so much work in the first trimester itself that you won't have time to do internships or projects or I mean, forget even like doing courses online. You won't have any chance of doing all that. Your academic rigor is going to be such. And in your first trimester, like the half of the first trimester, most of your learnings end and your CV building starts, the verification starts. And before it ends your first trimester, your CVs get frozen. You cannot add anything, you cannot remove anything. It's frozen.
सो
And they are
गाइस दिस
sent
इज
to the
वेरी, या ये याद कर लो यार, कहीं लिख लो वॉल पे कि 1 मंथ इनटू द बी स्कूल यू कांट ऐड एनीथिंग टू योर सीवी, राइट? एक्चुअली वी आई हैव सम फ्रेंड्स जिन्होंने काफी कुछ करा बी स्कूल आने के बाद, बट जब तक वो सर्टिफिकेट अटैच कर पाते सीवी फ्रीज हो चुके थे, वो कुछ अटैच ऐड ऑन नहीं कर पाए. या.
So Tina is asking CV verification. So it's a very fun process that you'll go through. Okay, I will not tell you more about it.
देखो बस
Uh,
इतना कहूंगा कि हाँ होता है. अगर एक्चुअली सही है, लेजिट है तो वेरीफाई हो जाएगा. थोड़ा भी ऊपर नीचे है तो फिर समझ जाओ.
and they verify everything. I mean, we'll digress from the topic, but I'll tell you how strict they are. If you have WorkX, they'll audit. For example, in NM, I think KPMG is auditing the WorkX. If you have internships, they want official communication from your intern organization, official, to your official ID of school, your B school official ID, confirming
या.
that you have worked for these many days in this role, and these are the achievements that you have. The pointers that you are seeing now right here, this guy has mentioned conducted market research, and these pointers have to be approved from their official domain ID, and your certification will also need to be produced, and there will be an official SPC, I mean your placement committee member who will look at every document, have a pencil, underline every word, okay, that is not matching, and if things don't match they'll ask you to remove it. And think, let's say you are a fresher and you just have an internship that you have put in your CV to act as an anchor, and they ask you to remove it. What will you do
या.
then?
सो आई हैव सीन सम सीवीज ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स जो पूरा फुल पेजर था, वेरीफाई होते होते बस नाम और एकेडमिक्स ही रह गया. तो ऐसा भी होता है.
Yes,
सो
Raghav,
गाइस.
accounts will check. Especially if you're going to a very good B school, now, they have a name to protect
या.
and they are ruthless. They'll remove anything that you don't have verifications for or anything that does not match.
या.
Because in their mind, they have to maintain that this brand that of this college needs to be upheld. You cannot have anything on your CV that you cannot defend in the interview. So they're absolutely ruthless.
Yeah.
Moving on, not digressing too much. Positions of responsibilities. Again, these are some of the things that if let's say you have normal acads or just one internship, no work ex, then do PORs matter? Maybe they'll ask you. Some companies do actually ask you, ki, what did you do in this POR as a treasurer? What did you do? And this guy probably, let's say, if he wanted to go for finance, then this is relevant now because he handled cash transactions. So he'll be asked, ki, what did you do? Again, this guy is not smart enough to include, let's say, what was the size of the finances that he was handling, how many tickets did he handle, something that could would quantify his contribution that he made in this POR would actually be very helpful for him to get a shortlist. But then he's not smart enough to use any numbers. Again, he has used one action verb that is managed, but then again in the next line he has used responsible, so he's missed out on the second action verb. So this is not advisable. This guy can actually improve and do a bit more to improve his CV. Moving on, extracurriculars. Again, somebody was asking, does it matter? Eventually, if you don't have, let's say, internships also, PORs also, you just have ACADS, no work ex, then they'll ask you about extracurricular because they'll give you a chance now. There are companies who will actually, they want to give you a chance to tell you to for you to secure that scholarship or secure that SIP. Sorry, so no, they want to give you a chance. So they'll come to extracurriculars. They'll ask you, what do you do in that NGO? What was your experience? And some people actually talk about their NGO experience, what they have worked. Okay, if they have worked for quite a while, they have worked consistently. Let's say in their engineering, they were associated with a certain NGO, and that was a big part of their life. They also, maybe they started doing MBA because of the experience that they had at that NGO. So maybe they'll come here also. Technical skills, again, if you are a fresher, don't have internships, don't have work ex, I mean, you are a fresher, so not so good acads, or maybe you have, even if you have acads, they might want to see if you have any technical skills, and whatever if you have written, are you actually upskilling yourself? So they might ask you. I had a few friends who were quizzed about technical skills, not coding. See, these are courses that you do on LinkedIn, Coursera, uh, and Udemy and other platforms. You may have done a technical skill, let's say, that you might want to add here in your undergrad. If that is the case, they might ask you, but they don't, in MBA, they don't go much deep into coding. Yeah. Interests, again, traveling, cricket, videography. So, uh, this is not something that they might actually ask you, because I did not have anyone who was quizzed about this. Because when you start the interview, let's say you have gotten the shortlist, you made a good CV, you got the shortlist. The first question that they ask you is, Ayush, or let's say
Yeah.
Fraser, please introduce yourself. That's the first question they ask, and most people have their
Mhm.
interests in some part, somewhere in their introduction. So that is already addressed. So that's what I had to say. Ayush, do you have to add anything to this?
देखो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर आई आई सी एज अ एड ऑन थिंग कि तुमने जो किया, हाउ आर यू एज अ पर्सन, ठीक है। देखो ये एबीसी चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट यहाँ वो काम नहीं भी करता तो कोई बहुत मेजर इम्पैक्ट उसके सीवी पे नहीं आता, राइट। पर उसने किया है, दैट इज द एड ऑन थिंग। तो आई विल लुक कि ये नहीं करने से काम चल रहा था उसका, ऐसा कुछ आफत नहीं आ रही थी उसके लिए, पर उसने आउट ऑफ एफर्ट जाके खुद से एफर्ट मारा इस चीज के लिए। तो एज अ पर्सन आई विल ट्रस्ट हिम मोर, राइट। और जहां थोड़ी चैरिटी आती है, एसआरसी आता है, सीएसआर आता है, वहां एनी एचआर हैव अ सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर, राइट सौरभ।
Absolutely. See, these are things that, this shows that this guy can, balance his work life. He'll not be overloaded. Okay.
या
He's a man with multiple hats. And nowadays, see, there was a time when we were looking for people to, be master at one. Okay. But nowadays, we want people to be jack of all trades as well. You may have one subject that you are highly competent in, but we want you to have exposure, because the world is changing so fast. You have to learn so much, and if you're just fixated on just one thing, you will not be able, it will be difficult for you to switch and upskill yourself. So this is something that tells me that you are a man who has different tastes and likes to do different things. And that
या
is, as an HR, I always appreciate someone, because then it also shows that probably they have a better experience of dealing with difficult learning curve.
एंड गाइस सीट लाइक कि कुछ अलग करा है, मतलब कुछ तो अलग से एफर्ट एक्स्ट्रा मारा है, उसका रिक्वायरमेंट था नहीं, ही इज नॉट अर्निंग एनीथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, बट उसने किया है, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, मे बिकॉज ऑफ फॉर समवन एल्स गुड्स। अगर आप ऐसा CSR करते हो, NGO में काम करते हो, तो इन मोस्ट केस यू आर वर्किंग फॉर सम अदर पीपल, राइट? आप उनके अच्छे के लिए आप खुद का एफर्ट डाल रहे हो। और एज अ HR, हर किसी को ऐसे बंदे चाहिए अपनी टीम में जो ऐसा ही हो, हेल्पफुल हो, दूसरों के बारे में भी सोचे, नॉट ओनली ऑफ हर सेल्फ और हिमसेल्फ ओनली, राइट? तो इन दिस केस एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एड ऑन थिंग्स। और ऐसा काफी बार हुआ है कि जो HR का लाइक से थर्ड थर्ड राउंड फोर्थ राउंड का इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, जो CHROs लेते हैं, वो यूजुअली इसके अराउंड मूव करते हैं, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है कि अब तक जो पहले 3 राउंड हुए हैं, वहां आपके HR ने, टेक्निकल टीम ने सारे क्वेश्चन पूछ चुके हैं, वो आपके बिहेवियर पार्ट पे आते हैं, और फिर ये चीज बहुत ज्यादा एक्शन में आती है, राइट सौरभ?
एब्सोल्युटली या सी, मे बी बी स्कूल में सारे इंटरव्यूज वुड नॉट गो टू दैट राउंड, ठीक है, बट we as a recruiter, I must tell you, we hire for 4 things. There's a very famous 4 words that we hire for: knowledge, which is your degrees that you have done. It's nowadays getting some very less weightage. Okay, skills. Again, this is something that is highly focused. The third is your attitude. Okay, and the fourth one is your organizational fit. And how do I measure someone's attitude? Let's say skills to मैंने देख लिया, you have used action words, outcome focused, ठीक है, and I have seen you have done XYZ degree, so I know your knowledge as well. You have mentioned so many technical skills also, highly knowledgeable. How do I check for attitude and organizational fit? So there I'll come to extracurriculars to
या
see ki this, what kind of attitude does he have? Is he fixated, as I said, or does he try different things? Attitude कैसा है? And I may have a preference for a certain attitude. I want someone who has a growth mindset. I want someone. So I'll go into these extracurriculars and try and figure out, do you have a growth mindset? You can tell me, yeah, sir. So I started doing extracurriculars. I started painting, but initially it was very difficult for me. And then there was a learning curve involved. So I tried this, I used this, I failed here, I failed there. And then again, I kept on trying. So this shows, acha, this guy is, he tries to solve his own issues, problems. He wants to learn. Now, once I start thinking that he wants to learn, there you have it. I have come to a realization that this guy has a growth mindset. And now I have got the competency that I was looking for. I am satisfied. Now I'll move on to my next, which is my organizational fit. Now, how do I check for organizational fit? Again, these extracurricular activities will tell me that if you are someone who likes easy pace of work, or if you are a very star performer, you want the attention. Let's say somebody in their extracurriculars has been part of sports and says that I start talking to you and you mention that I have been part of district sports, and I ask you, how was it, why do you started playing football, why not something else, and how much did you play for? So that will tell me, you'll say ki, ha, I was very competitive, I used to play forward, I had that aggressive attacking nature. So that will tell me, acha, this guy is, a go-getter. He likes to do that. Not necessarily that, I mean, every organization wants someone who is out there and aggressive. No, it's again, preference from organization to organization. Because some people, like, let's say, I'll take an example. Netflix, they say that they only hire star performers. So if you're not someone who wants to do the maximum and give everything, Netflix is not the right place for you to work at. And let's come to another organization which is very famous, Salesforce. They have a different culture. So a
या
guy who is suitable for Netflix, aggressive guy, very competitive, okay, very highly motivated, he may not fit well in the culture of Salesforce, because they have a very team culture, and you work together. It has a decent pace to it. Okay, so again, I use these extracurricular activities to try and figure out if you have that culture fit. If especially if you don't have any work ex, let's say you come from a certain organization, then I know this guy has worked in this organization which has this culture. So maybe he's more suitable, or maybe he's not suitable. Okay, but then again, how do I check that? Extracurriculars. That's how I check. So it's very important to have them.
या एंड लास्ट कम्स इंटरेस्ट्स। आप बताइए कितने लोग आप में से ऐसे हो जिसने लिखा है लिसनिंग टू म्यूजिक, वाचिंग मूवीज। सामने आओ जल्दी जल्दी। बी ऑनेस्ट गाइस, होता है, लोग लिखते हैं। मैं एक ईमानदार व्यक्ति सामने आ चुका है। बाकी लोग, या आपने क्या लिखा है वो बता दो चलो। रीडिंग बुक्स, ओके।
Reading books. Oh my God. These guys are way studious than I was.
पेंटिंग, नाइस।
Then
पजल्स, प्लेइंग kalimba, I don't know what is this, but sounds good.
different. They'll definitely ask you.
गगन सिंह vroom vroom F1।
Again, F1, yeah, this is something that has been really picking up, and a lot of guys, talk about F1. I can tell you from my experience, my roommate, big F1 buff, went to the interview. I'll say the name of the organization. It was Tata AIG, and they ultimately came to F1, and they started talking about F1, who is winning, why is he winning, why is Red Bull dominating, why not Mercedes, what happened to them again.
Yeah,
And that guy ultimately converted, I mean, got into Tata AIG. So yeah,
I have a friend who have wrote कि वो एरोप्लेन्स की, I don't know what is that called, air maps or something like that, वो ओवरव्यू करता है for no reason, और actually he got placed in an aviation company। not radar यार, वो
so
something else।
there
I
is
have,
a website where actually you can track all the private plane, not just private planes, but every airline. You can see what time they are traveling. Yeah,
या
you can
तो
see
वही
all
करता
those
है दिन में बैठ
details,
के।
and you can also do that for ships as well. So
या
many people, I mean, they have this fantasy of going and watching, and I don't know what they're trying to figure out. I have never tried it for myself,
या
but
and
that
eventually he got shortlisted, not shortlisted, he got the placement in Collins Aerospace, which is a used company।
absolutely, yeah, I know about Collins Aerospace.
या
So moving on, Ayush, I think we should move on.
यस। हाँ गाइस, तो वो मूवीज वालों के लिए मेरे पास एक ये था। अब अगर आपने मूवीज ऐड किया है, क्या बोलोगे आप, व्हाट इज योर लर्निंग आउट ऑफ वाचिंग मूवीज? अगर आपके पास सही में कुछ बहुत प्रॉपर आंसर है इसका, तो आई विल नॉट से कि रिमूव कर दो, पर थिंक अबाउट दैट कि आप क्या बोलोगे अगर आपसे पूछा जाता है। आप, अच्छा कोई तो था ना जिसने बोला है मूवी ऐड किया है, साहिल आ रही है। आप मुझे ये बताना कि आपने रिसेंटली 5 कौन सी मूवीज देखी है। मैं नहीं। ओके। देखो गाइज, अगर आपने मूवीज ऐड किया है, दे कैन इजिली आस्क यू कि ओके लास्ट 5 कौन सी मूवीज देखी है। दे कैन आस्क यू हु आर द राइटर ऑफ द मूवी। और यहीं पे आधे लोग तो ऐसे ही फंस जाएंगे, किसी को नहीं पता राइटर कौन होता है मूवी का, राइट? तो थोड़ा ऐसा लिखो वेयर यू कैन एक्चुअली डिफेंड योरसेल्फ, राइट?
Yeah. So moving on, I think Ayush, we should
यस योर।
quickly move because I have to show guys these guys demo as well. What should you do? As I said, ACADS, something that you cannot change. Do not worry about it. You'll still get shortlist. I know many people. In fact, I know a friend of mine had bad ACADS in 60s and 50s and got into Aditya Birla Capital. So that is not an issue without WorkX. Yeah, that he did not have any WorkX. So you can do that. Co-curricular activities. I mean, whatever you have, try and work on that. Right now, you can work on like all there are 5 things listed. What you can work on truly: internships, life projects. They add value. Once you get into the B school, you'll also have a chance to have a few academic projects that you can add. But then again, see, everybody is going to add academic projects if they don't have anything. If you have something different, a life project or an internship, that will definitely add value. POR achievements, everything, all the 4 things that are listed from 1 to 4, you cannot make any changes to that. So leave it. And can you, if the question arises, sir, if I leave it, whatever is there is there. Can I get a shortlist? Yes. Work on your life projects, internships. Your interview will revolve around internships once you get a shortlist, and then you have to convert it. So yeah, that's the crux of this whole slide. You could
या
focus on last one. And Ayush, I think we can now move forward. If you want to add something quickly, we can add and move on.
या गाइस सी, अगर आप अभी भी लाइव प्रोजेक्ट का इंटर्नशिप नहीं करते हो, तो 2 महीने बाद खुद से पूछना कि आप सही में हायर करने लायक हो। आपके पास समय था, आपके पास रिसोर्सेज थे, सब कुछ था, आपने तब भी नहीं करा। तो एचआर तो बाद में सोचेगा, पहले आप खुद के बारे में सोचो कि क्या मैं सही में हायर होने लायक हूँ। राइट।
Naman, I will take your questions at the end. Yeah. Not, no, I mean, you don't need to do internships if you have that much of work. Moving on, Ayush, I think we'll quickly move on. Three things to add in your CV, no matter you're a fresher, work ex, or anything. Three things that you have to have in your mind. I'm sorry, when you are drafting your CV. Keywords. Have keywords like market research. I did this, and highlight them. Make it bold. Those action verbs, those actual things that you did, skills that you demonstrated, competencies that you showed, highlight करो उसको. It needs to be highlighted because I as a recruiter, especially अगर let's say मैं इंटरव्यू में तुमको शॉर्टलिस्ट दे दिया, बैठा हूँ वहां पे मुझे क्या पूछना है जब मैं देख रहा हूँ, तो वो कीवर्ड्स मुझे दिख जाएंगे, एंड हो सकता है कि मैं उस पर पूछूं. तो यू विल हैव इट इजी फॉर योर सेल्फ टू आंसर क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन दोज कीवर्ड्स. You can prepare yourself. Second is numbers. Numbers are very important. They show me that you are an outcome focused guy. And इस रेस में बी स्कूल में everybody is more or less has the same, aptitude, or and maybe most of you would have same level of language skills. How do I differentiate? These are the things that will differentiate. तुमने outcome focused person हो कि नहीं, because these cannot be developed in, let's say, a week or a month. It needs to be worked on slowly, and you have to build it. And the last question is, how much is good? Should you fill the entire page? Should you make 2 pages? Should you make 3 pages? Or should you just
Mhm.
make half a page? See, 1 page is the limit that you
Yeah.
get B schools. Even if you go get out of B school, I'll say 1 page is still the limit, because we hardly spend 3 seconds or 4 seconds on a CV, like in the first screening. We won't be reading 2 pages, 3 pages. I have rejected many CVs, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what they're doing. I cannot look at, I mean, even if you give me a 1 page CV, now I'm not looking and reading everything. I'm just looking at keywords. Some of the words that you have highlighted, I'm just looking at them. So 1 page will do. If you have half a page, fine. You have less things to prepare, but whatever you add, make sure that it's of high value and high, I mean, it actually has some worth. तुमने तुम्हारे पास सिर्फ एकेड्स है, उसके तुमने इंटर्नशिप्स किया है एंड तुम एकेडमिक प्रोजेक्ट्स किया है, उसके बाद तुमने लेट्स से अपने इंटरेस्ट डाले, वॉट एवर. दिस इज अ वेरी शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट सीवी. इसमें कुछ ज्यादा वर्क भी नहीं है भाई के पास, ज्यादा इंटर्नशिप भी नहीं की, लाइव प्रोजेक्ट शायद अभी मेरे बोलने पे स्टार्ट किया है भाई ने, और वो लाइव प्रोजेक्ट किया 1 महीने के लिए. ठीक है, तो
Mhm.
उसने ऐड किया है, और उसने लिंक्डइन से अभी रात में बैठ करके वो कोर्स या फिर कोर्सेरा से कोर्सेज करता था, दैट ही हैज एडेड. ठीक है, नाउ वॉट एवर यू हैव एडेड, मेक श्योर दैट दे हैव कीवर्ड्स. And also, I'll tell you कि there is a list of keywords suggested by Harvard Business School. Those are known
Yeah.
as action verbs, keywords, and there is a list of it. You pick and choose those action words and start your pointers in your CV from those words. We will be sharing those PDFs, I think, Ayush, right? For I don't know if we'll be sharing it with everyone or select candidates who are already with us preparing for SIPs, right? I think
Yeah.
that's something that we have. So
Mhm.
that's something that we got to prepare. And believe me, AI, which is used especially for campus placements in SIPs and finals, because you have 200, 300 students, they do look for those keywords, action verbs at the beginning, and nicely placed. Like you have to draft it very well. These three things are very important for me. Ayush, do you want to add anything, or we can quickly move on?
या द थिंग इज ना गाइस कि अगर आप एक्शन वर्ड यूज ना करो तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपकी सीवी बहुत ड्रास्टिकली खराब हो जाएगी, समथिंग लाइक दैट, ऐसा आपको लगता है। मेरा थिंक इज ना, कंपनी जो सीरीज देखती है तो दे आल्सो वांट टू चेक योर एफर्ट। आप जिस रोल के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हो, आप कितना अपना खुद का इनपुट देना चाह रहे हो, उसमें आप कितने एफर्ट्स दे रहे हो। फॉर दैट एक्चुअली दे चेक फॉर द एक्शन वर्ब्स, राइट। सो गाइस, अ स्मॉल 1 minute break, not a break. I will like to introduce that we Preppy are on to, or we are going to launch our SIP preparation course on 15th of May. So if you are joining say any B school and you want to prepare for SIPs, you can join us. So we will again discuss how to make a CV. We will actually review your own CV. We will be helping you out for your CV live. And there are many other things. You can check out our course if you guys are interested, right? So guys, this is a one more example of a CV. The name is cropped for a good reason. See guys, one page of CV, nothing more than a page. And yeah, I will like to sort of to evaluate this.
Yes. So as a recruiter, I'll say this guy, if let's say I'm hiring for campus placements, he's a fresher. I look at his acads. I'm not disappointed, but yeah, I'd like to see what his uh work is. So what sort of internships or live projects he has done. I see he has been a founder. Now this is very exciting to me because as an HR, tell you, it takes a lot of effort, okay, to do something, to start something of your own. You have that initial fear. Ideas, everybody has ideas, but it takes a hell lot of effort mentally and physically to put those ideas into reality. So this guy has been a founder. Now I have a very good impression. Now when I'm trying to read his pointers, I'd say he has mentioned numbers which are very good. But then again, I'll point out something that this guy has missed. He has not highlighted keywords for me to catch on to. Okay, so if I have to read, it's easier for me to read those numbers and then I'll be selectively reading those lines only because I cannot read everything. So one improvement that I suggest this guy, whoever he is or she is, please, those keywords that you have added, uh, make sure that they are highlighted. Again, he has started with action was founded and app based. Again, I mean, he's outcome oriented, achieved. This guy is an achiever. That's what I'm thinking when I'm reading this sentence. Achieved X numbers of downloads. So he has given a matrix of his outcome. Provided services to him again. Outcome presented the startup again. This guy, I mean, this tells me that this guy is, he's an achiever. He wants to go out there and do it himself. And he has also quantified everything. So this guy is pretty good. Uh, Again, a big brand, I can say Tata AIG. So this guy has been associated with this company. So probably uh, he has some sort of credibility because these organizations, let's say Tata AIG or any other organization that is very well known, they don't just take you uh, without verifying things for themselves. They have a certain process, as I have said before. They follow that process and several levels of screening, and then you get into that organization. And while you are working as well, they help you upskill yourself. So that does add credibility to this guy. Again, he has used action words in all his internships, which is very nice. Numbers, I think he has added not in every internship that he has done. Something another improvement is that this guy can do, add those numbers in as many pointers as possible. Like not every pointer, but every one of, I mean, every internship should have at least some sort of quantification. And obviously, he has not highlighted keywords. Now, moving on to academic achievements. See, I won't go to his academic achievement because he has so many internships and so many experiences. I think that's where I'll be spending most of my time talking about trying to figure out what are his skills. Okay, and in the end, if I have to check for, like, as I said, we hire for knowledge, skill. I'll be testing knowledge. I mean, I already know that this guy probably is not so brilliant acad wise, but he is good. And then I have already assessed his skills based on what he has written in his experience and projects. Uh, Attitude and skills, I'll go to co-curriculars and extracurriculars, earn third prize, poster prize. Okay, so this guy also, is creative. That's what I got from this. Achieved a letter of appreciation from I am Calcutta. Oh, so this guy has I mean, this guy then probably has some sort of, again, credibility and has been appreciated. He must have done something very nice. So I'll probably ask him in that conversation as to what did you do, and so to get that letter of appreciation and try and understand how did he got that opportunity, what did he learn, try and understand his attitude. And so he got third place in digital. Again, this tells me that he's very creative. So probably if I'm hiring for, let's say, a marketing role, I'll probably dig in deep, mentored and helped influence. All right, yeah. So this guy is a leader. This last line tells me that this guy is a leader because he has helped and managed and coached these number of people. So again, very very big plus. If I mean, I'm definitely going to be talking to this guy for a long time.
So thank you Saurabh for having me. So guys, this was my CV. एक साल पहले का है. So this was my first draft. I obviously had made several changes as suggested by Saurav, add numeric values and all. Yeah, but guys, one thing, B school to B school, there are some specific format for the CV, right? So as Saurav said, I should have bold some text, right? But that is not allowed in our college. That is why I can't bold anything in between. So you have to also match to your B school format. So guys, this was my CV. So we'll quickly move forward. देखो, इसका शो करने का ये पर्पस था ना, क्या ओवरडू नहीं करना है। एज सौरभ सेट की क्वांटिफाई करो, और मैंने क्वांटिफाई किया नेक्स्ट ड्राफ्ट में, पर मैंने हर पॉइंटर में क्वांटिफाई नहीं करने की कोशिश करी, बिकॉज दैट कैन बी इररिलेवेंट। मैं एनजीओ वर्क में अगर दिखाऊं कि मैंने इतने गरीब लोगों की हेल्प करी है, तो दैट विल बी एक्चुअल निगेटिव इम्पैक्ट, कि मैं उस हेल्प को काउंट कर रहा हूँ और मैं उसको शोकेस करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि मैंने इतने गरीब लोगों की मदद करी है। सो एक्चुअली दैट कैन बी अ गुड थिंग, मैंने अच्छा करा है, बट दैट इज ओवरडू, राइट? एग्री? गुड मॉर्निंग गाइस, सब जिंदा हो?
एक बार जल्दी से यस यस बोल दो सब यार, पता चलेगा कि इन्हें तो ऐसा नहीं है
हम
कि हम
कितनी
लोगों को
बात कर रहे
सुना
हैं
दिया
बस।
है।
या
ग्रेट ग्रेट, यू गाइस आर अलाइव।
यार, ऐसा होता है, हमारे साथ ही होता है, बी स्कूल काफी कीज होती हैं, टॉक्स होते हैं, हम भी सो जाते हैं, सो नथिंग टू वरी अबाउट। ओके, सो सम, अब हैक्स की बात करते हैं। देखो, इतना कर लिया क्या नहीं है, अब आधे लोग डिप्रेशन में होंगे भाई कि हम पे तो है ही नहीं, हम कैसे करें।
कुछ नहीं है, क्या करें, इंटर्नशिप भी नहीं।
या सो सॉरी भैया। So sadly,
मोस्ट
there is no quick hack or easy way out, honestly. But this is not everything for you. You can actually put some efforts और कर सकते हो अभी से भी. And Tanisha, I know that you are in our PMPF course, so you will get the chance for 5 certification, 5 live project. तो आप तो sort out हो, I believe. Yeah.
So I'll first take the second pointer, which is life projects and internships. It's very important. As I said, if you are a fresher, your interview will revolve around your projects and internships. They don't ask you about your acads that you did in undergrad, especially in MBA. I do not recall anyone being asked about their undergrads. Okay. They care about your projects. If you have done prior projects, they'll ask you about that. If you have done internships, they'll ask you about that. That's where everything will revolve. And if that's the only thing you have, you don't have WorkX, most likely the shortlist that you'll get will be also be from there itself, those keywords that you have written. So it's very important. You can do live projects, internships. Now also you have, I guess, almost a month, because I think most B schools, your academics start after like the first week, and today is 8th or 9th, I guess. So even if
Yeah.
you get internship from tomorrow, you can do it for 30 days. And again, another point that I'd like to tell you, do not do any internships that is less than 30 days. Most B schools won't allow you to put anything which is less than 30 days, especially, I mean, in terms of internships or WorkX.
Yeah.
They
At
don't,
least 4 weeks. Yeah.
at least 4 weeks. Yeah. So make sure, Abhay, you if you're thinking I'll do it for 2 weeks, then I'll add and then I'll talk. They won't allow. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's important, if you want to do any internships, start doing it right away. Certifications, as I said, they are at a lower priority than in projects and internships, because as I said, it's very simple. Now, see, certification, I turn on this video. I mean, take my laptop, log into Coursera and start watching video. It's easy. What is difficult? Getting an internships and then starting doing it, because actually doing it is entirely different. I may have learned about recruiting, okay, let's say from online course. I watched video that you look at these keywords and then you talk to candidate, and that's how you screen candidates, shortlist candidates. But when I start doing internships, it's completely different ball game. You go to the portal, you log in, you enter your details, you go to the correct tab, you download the CV, you look at it, you enter all your details in the ATS that you have. So this is the entire process. You actually get to learn how to do a certain task, and that is appreciated, and that absolutely makes a hell lot of difference. You may not realize, but it makes the difference is day and night between doing certifications and doing live projects, internships and workx.
So guys, a quick chat up. जल्दी से बताओ कि what to what you will give the most preference, a live project, internship or a certificate? Right? 2 for live project or certificate, 3 for certifications. एक 3 वाले अभी हैं। भाई ने लगता है कोर्स बहुत लास्ट तक कर लिया है, खत्म करना ही पड़ेगा अब। ओके, सो गाइज आई थिंक दिस आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन कि आपको इस 2 महीने में क्या करना चाहिए और क्या नहीं करना चाहिए। आई विल नॉट से सर्टिफिकेशन करो ही मत, बट हाँ दिन रात बस वो मत करो, राइट। करो, सीखने के लिए करो, ऑनेस्टली सीखने के लिए करो, जब आपको लगता है कि हाँ सीख सकते हैं वो करो। जो बस की जस्ट सेक ऑफ या सीवी में ऐड कर देंगे उसके लिए मत करो यार। सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, कहाँ से करें। फर्स्ट थिंग, केस कॉम्पिटिशंस अनस्टॉप से कर सकते हो भाई, डज
Ayush,
दैट
I will come
वैल्यू।
to that. I have not spoken about case comps. We'll come to that. Please
ओके
leave.
ओके, सॉरी सॉरी। देखो तो लाइव प्रोजेक्ट्स कहाँ से करें, इंटर्न साला से आप खोज सकते हो, अनस्टॉप पे खोज सकते हो, यू कैन अप्लाई टू मल्टीपल, पर एक बार में एक दो मत करो, 100 अप्लाई कर दो। दे विल एक्चुअली रीच यू आउट। हाँ यार, फॉरेस्ट से मत करो यार, वो मुझे पता है 2 घंटे में हो जाता है, रिक्रूटर्स नो के 2 घंटे में हो जाता है, और जो सबको पता है वो फिर अच्छी चीज नहीं है। राइट। तो गाइस लाइव प्रोजेक्ट के लिए आई विल गिव यू प्लेटफॉर्म्स, इंकर्नसाला, अनस्टॉप, ये 2 जगह तो पक्का खोजो, यू कैन सर्च ऑन लिंक्डइन, जो मिले जहां मिले कर लो। और गाइस एज वी डिस्कस्ड ना, सर्टिफिकेशन उतनी वैल्यू होती नहीं है, वैल्यू होती है लाइव प्रोजेक्ट की। तो दैट इज व्हाई इन आवर कोर्स ऑफ पीएमपीएफ और एसएम वी डोंट प्रोवाइड यू सर्टिफिकेट, वी डोंट जस्ट गिव यू सर्टिफिकेट, ये लो ऐड कर लो सीवी में। If you join the course, you will have a chance to actually work on 5 live projects। जो आप करोगे, एक्चुअली करोगे, रिपोर्ट सबमिट करोगे, आपको उसका सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। और अगर आप एक्चुअली वो करोगे तो यू विल मस्ट हैव अ लर्निंग आउट ऑफ इट, राइट। और दैट विल एड वैल्यू टू योर सीवी। सो दिस वाज अ पॉइंट टेकन केयर इन कंसिडरेशन एट अ लार्ज और हाई स्टेक, कि हमें ऐसा करना है, राइट। हाउ सून प्रेबी लाइव प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट्स, भाई नॉट वेरी श्योर, बट आपके 20 को जाने से पहले वो खत्म हो जाएगा, दैट इज ऑल्सो। So guys, to learn about MBA basics and how to attempt case study, case competitions, you can look for a PMPF course. And if you want for the preparation of a SIP prepare अभी से करना है, for that you can look for our SM course। जल्दी से आगे बढ़ते हैं। Yeah, so
Coming to case competition, देखो, this is one of the most debated and interesting questions once you get into the B school. Are case competitions good? Should we do it? Should we try? Because it takes a lot of effort. And the thing is, ki if you want to be that stud, who wants to say to his or her placement committee that, bro, I don't need your help, then
yeah,
we can do case comps. Because case comps are that opportunity, okay, which let you get placed into your dream companies at very handsome packages.
and
ठीक है?
on your own will, आप खुद से करते हो, आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया मैंने फोड़ा है।
Yes, it's all your effort. And the companies, they also love those candidates who have actually done that. And colleges also love that candidate because you bring a lot of attention to that B school. These guys, they don't need a placement committee to go and talk to the recruiter and then bring them on campus. And then, all the entire process of recruiting takes place and then the candidates are selected and hired. No, they simply go there. They compete nationally against all the best of the B schools, be it IIM Ahmedabad to any other B school. And you have competed against all those candidates and you have triumphed. And now you're getting into that. I know my friends who got into very big companies through case comps, and they actually got placed even before our placements start. So they don't have to worry about anything. The stress of like few months that you have when you are in the SIP, they didn't go through anything because during the like first semester itself when they were studying doing everything they also found time to work on case comps. They did well, they got a pre-placement offer,
Yeah,
and yeah, so then their life is, I guess, sorted because
unfortunately Saurav and I both are from a B school where case competitions are very prominent. Almost 20% of our senior batch got placed via Placecom only. And the biggest happy thing here, एक बार केसकॉम फोड़ दिया, दे विल नॉट लुक फॉर योर सीवी, दे विल नॉट लुक फॉर योर एकेडमिक्स, कुछ नहीं देखेंगे, केसकॉम फोड़ो, जॉब लो, एज सिंपल एज दैट।
case
और
comps,
इतना भी रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है वो, राइट सौरभ।
yes.
दैट इज एक्चुअली डुएबल थिंग।
Absolutely. See, you got for case comps, I think we have a session and we are already conducting session, so I won't go much in deep. But you just need a team that will work well, and it does not matter what past you have, where are you coming from. You are from arts, science, or any background. You can have whatever work ex, whatever background you have. The thing is, they give you a case, they'll give you a problem, and you have to solve the problem. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's not as simple, the effort is not as simple. It needs a lot of effort.
yeah,
But again, if you're willing to put in the effort, the goods that you get out of it like absolutely worth it.
या और गाइस, जिसको भी अब तक केस कॉम के बारे में नहीं पता है, आई बिलीव प्रेबी से जितने लोग जुड़े हैं उनको पता है, हम बहुत चिल्ला चिल्ला के बार बार बता चुके हैं, उनको पता होगा। जिनको नहीं पता है, जस्ट गो ऑन आवर यूट्यूब चैनल, यू विल फाइंड अ फ्री वीडियो यार। वहाँ वी हैव इनवाइटेड अ गेस्ट, अशीमा। शी हैव won 25 plus case competitions. So you can watch that video. You will got to know everything about CaseCom. And on coming Sunday, we are going to host another person who is corporate winner of 25 plus case competitions. So yeah, just stay tuned. आपको सब पता चल जाएगा 20 को जाने से पहले।
Also, the last line that I'll like to tell you right here is कि if let's say you don't win, okay, but you participate, that also matters because when you sit for
Yeah.
actual placements, they'll see that, okay, and then they'll ask you, Acha, you participated in a case com, and most people who have participated, they get quizzed. You participate, what was the case and how did you approach it? They are very interested. So it's no brainer. Coming to this line, AI will make you a CV.
Question mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Will it? It can. Should
Yeah.
you use it smartly? Yes. Should you copy and paste it? No. The recruiters will know. And obviously, the AI that is going to be used for screening of your resume, it'll already know na ki that you have used AI because it is also an AI, and they have very strong algorithms to pick and identify that this is how it's structured, okay, and they'll pick. No matter how much chalaki you do, you take that text from Copilot, give it to Chat GPT. Okay,
उसका फील्ड
please
वर्क ही कर दिया।
paraphrase it, and then you copy it to Gemini. Please help me, Gemini. Okay, and then you copy paste it here by changing a few words. Do you think that will make a difference? No, they'll pick it. The AI that they use, the recruiters use, they'll pick it. Okay, and it will not do any benefit. Use it if you're not really sure कि spelling mistakes हैं या फिर grammatical mistakes हैं, तो एक बार you put that, ठीक है. Once you have that, तो you उसको you take it and then see you can draft your own, ठीक है, and then you give it to Chat GPT, let's say, and then give it a right prompt. Say कि fix my grammatical errors. Do not add any unnecessary adjectives. Okay, so this is a prompt that you can use, or probably you can generate your own prompts as well. And then wherein the structure is not changed, only your errors in grammar are resolved, or the sentence structure is slightly corrected, so
या
that you have the right keywords at the right places.
एंड आई विल से यार कि एक एक लाइन उसको एक बार में दो, अगर आप सब कुछ एक बार फीड कर दोगे फिर वो उसका हलवा बना के दे देगा आपको। तो
Huh.
जस्ट गिव वन लाइन एट अ टाइम।
You can also ask, see, I have written this line. How can I quantify this line? Again,
हम्म।
be smart with it. Okay, it will say ki, you can tell them how many CVs did you screened during these 2 months period. Again, a nice quantification I have got. I can use this now. So be smart. And if you use it like this, let me tell you, you'll be a champ. People will be wondering how are you getting so many shortlists? And because you are smart, you use AI to beat the AI.
And guys, these are not bluff यार। uh, I myself got shortlisted in first 8 out of 10 companies। और जिस दो में नहीं हुआ था उसमें एक में वर्क एक्स कंपलसरी था, राइट। तो एक में तो ऐसे भी नहीं हो सकता था, एक में बाई चांस नहीं हुआ। बट फर्स्ट 7-8 कंपनीज आई गॉट इजिली शॉर्टलिस्ट। पीपल आर सरप्राइज कि कैसे भाई, हाउ। लोगों के भाई पूरे टेन्योर में, SIP टेन्योर में एक दो आते थे, 3-4 आते हैं, मेरे पहले 10 में से आ गए थे। सो गाइस, दिस आर ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड थिंग्स। तेजस, डोंट लुक फॉर 81 स्कोर यार, वो ऐसे ही।
Uh, hmm. Too much of talk. Let's see it live. Okay.
ओके।
Before that,
या
Acha, you wanna do it because I think I will not be showing my screen while we are recording because of some issues.
ओके, हाउ सो? सो हाउ कैन यू प्रोसीड?
So if you want to take any CV and then add them, and then once we close the recording, and then I'll be able to share my screen. So
ओके ओके ओके
you
ओके,
want to
नो
go ahead,
ऑफकोर्स।
right? Take a CV and then work on it.
या श्योर, वी विल डू दैट फॉर 2-3 minutes। जस्ट अ मिनट गाइस। तो गाइस, जस्ट अ प्रिविलेज गाइस, जिसके पास हमारा व्हाट्सएप नंबर है प्रेबी का, आप वहां अपने CV भेजो। आई विल चूज एनी वन आउट ऑफ देम फॉर आवर रिव्यू। क्या आंसर? श्योर। कैन वी शेयर हियर भाई? देखो, यहाँ भी कर दो, व्हाट्सएप पे करो। आई एम ओपनिंग माई व्हाट्सएप, जिसका सबसे ऊपर दिखा विथ नो बायसनेस, आई विल शेयर दैट। Okay, just a second, guys. Yeah. So, Saurabh, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so we have CV from Raghav Garg.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you can start evaluating this.
All right, just give me a minute. I'll. Yes, now I can see it well. So again, Raghav, I must say कि I do not like how it's written. The first impression is very bad. एक बार just give me a quick look. Just scroll. एक बार Ayush, yeah. No, scroll. Just don't zoom in because initially I want to see the structure. Huh. He has mentioned personal information, experience, skills, education, and professional qualification. So yeah, he has written all the basic things. But then again, now I wanted to zoom in. Yeah. You have not used pointers. You have written paragraphs. I'm not reading paragraphs. Trust me. You don't. I mean, I cannot see any numbers, so it's not very interesting for me as well. Also, there are no highlights, which is also a big no-no. Uh, Moving on, you have written like the structure is not very clear because see the dates you have mentioned, okay, but you have not mentioned the duration. I want to know. See, I can calculate from how which month to which month you were working in that organization, but I don't want to work that hard. Now I just want the duration also. I want the duration so that I can immediately see how many how many months you have worked in particular organization. That is something that's missing, and it's not appreciated that you have missed out on that. Again, this guy has been a co-founder, which I can read, which I am happy and excited because, as I said, these guys who have founded something, now, it takes a hell lot of effort from ideation to reality. So good, but again, I cannot read anything because he had a very good because if he was a founder, nah, he must have access to financial documents, marketing documents, sales, everything. But he did not include any of those numbers. He missed out on a very great opportunity that he could have used to attract and trap the recruiter to his to
And
this.
also, yeah, he wasted this much of space of the CV. Left side CV, right side CV.
True. Also, in your B school, they might not allow you to put keywords.
Yeah.
But once you step out of B school and the actual world, ठीक है, we need keywords because
Mm.
time नहीं है boss. जैसे मैंने बोला ना, I have a role. I know the keywords that I have used to shortlist CVs. ठीक है, using AI. Now I want to quickly see कि कहाँ है वो keywords तुम्हारे CV में. अगर वो हैं तो ठीक है, नहीं है तो reject. See, I'll tell you, if this CV was, let's say, for an engineering role in my organization, my immediate senior, I mean, not my immediate senior, but my senior, yeah, the hiring manager who would be actually be hiring this person, he would reject this CV just based on how it looks because he actually rejects CVs based on how it looks. And also, date of birth and all this information, it's not required. You can have it, as I said, somewhere up on the upside, like as a footer, or actually you can remove it as well because most in most places now they already ask, like when you are filling the form, they already ask you for your date of birth and everything. So they'll get this those data from there itself. So do not try and add things that may not be suitable in this case.
Yeah.
So
So don't worry, Raghav. Luckily, you are the part of our SM, PMPF or SM course. So the mentors will make sure that your civil CV is on the best before you join any B school. So don't worry for that. Just a quick 1 minute review on this CV as well because open हो चुका है. So yeah.
हाँ, so तेजस, as I can see, वो देखो उसने अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ नहीं सीधे एज लिखा है. That will also, that is easy because see, डेट ऑफ बर्थ मैं कैलकुलेट करूंगा. Why are you making
Yeah.
it difficult? Don't make me, because I have to screen 60 CVs every day. Make my life easy. हम ये दिमाग में रख लो कि you have to make my life easy. Again, now coming, he has good acads, uh, very simply like written everything according to the chronology, which is absolutely how it should be written.
Yeah.
Achievements, gold medal. I like it. It's highlighted. I immediately caught it. Ranked second. Score 100 out of 100 and 99 out of 100. I am like, this guy has got the highlight absolutely spot on. Things that have now got me excited. WorkX, coming to the WorkX, he has mentioned 25%, 30%, but he has forgot to highlight some of the key skills. Probably he should have done that as well. Performed, promoted. This first word under ruler, this guy missed out. He could have made it better again by using those action verbs to start. But yeah, he has used the action verbs in the next two, so good. Coming to the next work, learned again action verbs. Marketing trainee. He did not tell me more as to what he did. Okay, quantify it. Again, something that he missed out on. Learn various marketing techniques, including e-commerce. Again, थोड़ा सा इसमें और पता चलना चाहिए e-commerce में क्या है, especially वो key जो होते हैं ना skills. If you would have mentioned ना, जैसे कि keywords, skills की keywords. ठीक है, those are very important because ATS or the AI also scans for those keywords. So make sure that you include those keywords. Again, he has highlighted this numbers, which is very good. Raised, learned, action verbs. He is outcome oriented. Extracurriculars ranked first. Again, nicely done. Everything is in chronology. No, this guy has not followed chronology. So I guess, Ayush, can you tell me, is this the format that you have?
Uh, I have to cross check, maybe.
Because see, I'll tell you, the chronology is reverse chronology. So
Yeah.
2023 should have come up here. This is
Yeah, that's wrong in the CV. Yeah.
this is incorrect.
Yeah,
I don't
incorrect.
like it. Maybe this guy now I'm gonna think what I'm gonna think is he's not careful enough. He might be careless. Does not. I mean, he has put in effort, but at the end he has not make sure that his work is error free.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली जब एटीएस स्कैन करेगा ना तो वो इसको अपोजिट मैनर में शो करेगा. सो मे बी एटीएस में स्कैन होकर आगे जा ही ना पाए बिकॉज एटीएस इज वेरी वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट ऑन दिस नंबर्स ईयर्स कि आपने कब करा है कैसे करा है गैप कितना है. सो दैट्स अ बिग मिस.
हाँ, गैप फ्लैग हो जाएगा कि भाई इसमें कुछ एरर है, फेल वेल है या क्या, वर्क से निकाल दिया, कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा. एंड देन एक देयर इज सिंपल फैक्ट, व्हेनेवर इन डाउट, one of my mentors who taught me na, he used to say ki whenever in doubt reject,
या
never in doubt they'll reject क्योंकि
देखो आई विल से यहाँ देखो इसने एजुकेशन में सही लिखा है राइट.
yes.
बैकवर्ड ऑर्डर पर इसने आगे जाके गलत कर दिया तो एटीएस के पास वो मार्जिन नहीं वो सीधा गलत ही समझेगा इसे बिकॉज उसने पहले रीड करा वो प्रॉपर आ रहा था फिर अचानक से सीक्वेंस चेंज हो गया.
और मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है ना, मैंने 200 सीवी डाले,
या
इसमें से एक सीवी गलत हो गया, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है कि मैं उसको देखूं मैनुअली. रिजेक्ट तो रिजेक्ट. Moving on to extra, can you tell chronology? So chronology is the latest that you have done comes
हाँ
first, and then that chronology is followed. Whatever you have done, second last
एब्सोल्युटली.
comes second, and then so on. Moving on quickly to extracurriculars, ranked one. Again, no chronology. I'm upset. I'm not going to read. Uh, yeah, he has mixed things up. So I don't know when did he do what did he do in graduation? Because now I have a chronology. Now, let's say it's 2023. So most probably that things that he has done in 1 to 3 years, he must have done in undergrad. And things that he has not done in that like sequence. So that's a big red flag, and ATS will also flag this.
सो गाइस आई होप कि आपको पता चला होगा कि ऑल्दो आपको लगता है आपका सीवी बहुत परफेक्ट है देयर आर सम एरर्स एंड द सीवी इज द मोस्ट मोस्ट क्रिटिकल थिंग एटलीस्ट इन द एसआईपी. यार फाइनल्स तो बात की बात तब तक आप खुद सीख जाओगे. एसआईपी में आपको पता नहीं होता है यू विल रेगुलरली डूइंग द सेम एरर अगेन एंड अगेन हर बार सेम गलती करोगे आप. To avoid this, again, a small promotion, you can join our SM course. Their mentors will seek live with you, like we are seeking right now. ऐसे आपको personally help किया जाएगा CV perfect करने में, right? और if you join for PMPF plus SM, you will get opportunity to do 5 live project with us. Someone asked कि भाई कि आपकी कंपनी नहीं है, I agree. क्या इसका ब्रांड वैल्यू होगा सीवी पे? देखो गाइस अगर हम सर्टिफिकेट देते ऑनेस्टली नो वैल्यू जीरो वैल्यू बट वी आर गिविंग लाइव प्रोजेक्ट. वो आपकी लर्निंग मैटर करती है. वो आपसे ये नहीं पूछेगा कि इस कंपनी में क्यों किया वो आपसे पूछेगा कि इस पे क्या किया. एग्री सौरभ ऑनेस्ट रिव्यूज.
Absolutely. See, I mean, I've already been saying कि knowledge पे आजकल कम focus है. The focus is on skills. And how do you ascertain skills? if this guy has put into practice what he has learned. And you do that via internships, via projects, via work X. So if you have done it, so they'll ask you, what did you do? And then they can ascertain if you have actually done it or not. So that actually adds a whole different level of value to that particular line that you have written. Because certification मैंने जैसे बोला ना, I right now, after this session ends, I can go there on my laptop and sit and do a course. Would that
Yeah.
mean that I have that skill? No, obviously I don't. Once I start working on it, I have applied, then only I'll be able to know. Because I said कि
सौरभ,
मैंने
tricky question for you. Just ब्रेन में आया, भी पूछता हूँ मैं आपसे. A 1 hour course certification course from Google जो freely available सबके लिए है versus a live project at Prep B. Be 100% honest.
life project.
As an
Absolutely.
HR?
See, not just Preppy or any, you can do
Yeah,
life project
100%.
from anywhere. Like, to be honest, like, and bold with you, because as I said, it shows that you have tried to solve a problem, get things done. And that does add value in the end, because as managers you have to get things done. ये नहीं बोल सकते कि प्रॉब्लम आ गया. मैनेजर्स का काम है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना. किसी और को आ रहा है, उसका भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना तुम्हारा काम है. तो गेट डन जो है वो होना ही चाहिए तुम्हें. मतलब इट्स अ नॉन निगोशिएबल, I'd say.
Yeah. So guys, I hope कि things are now bit clear for you. देखो, the thing is ना कि ऐसे बहुत सारे YouTube पे वीडियोस पड़े हुए हैं हाउ टू मेक अ सीवी. वो सबसे इजी वे आउट होता है उनके लिए बोलना कि सर्टिफिकेशन कर लो, बात खत्म है, राइट. बट अगर आप और खुद से सोचो यार, आपने 1 घंटे से हमारे साथ बैठे हुए हो, 1.5 hour, थिंक योर सेल्फ एंड जस्ट लाइक इन द कॉमेंट बॉक्स, डू यू थिंक सर्टिफिकेशन को तो वैल्यू होगा. और लाइफ प्रोजेक्ट इंटर्नशिप, फॉरगेट प्रेप भी, कहीं से करो, कुछ भी करो, वो एक्चुअल वर्क होना चाहिए. Right? Make sense?
Also I'll tell you, see, I was looking at the work that our interns have been doing, the business development interns.
Yeah.
And I saw that they were generating leads, okay, for XYZ purpose. I'll not disclose that. The fun thing is ki I'll tell you, this is what we do in our organization. Apparently we have softwares, dedicated software. You use Apollo. We use Apollo to actually get leads, find those relevant clients that we have. That's a
Yeah.
paid software that comes with a lot of fees. But then that is, you are doing it right now as an intern in your capacity using stuff that may not be that expensive, but you're actually doing it. So when you go to an organization, you say, what did you do in the internship at your prep? You'll say, I was generating leads. How did you generate leads? I use these steps. And the fun thing is ki these are the steps that you use when you get into an organization. It's just that they have much more resources at your disposal. So you may have softwares, dedicated softwares. You may also have a team to source those leads for you. Okay. And a hell lot of things at your, more resources at your disposal. But ultimately the work that you'll be doing, it's the same. So that's something that I noticed. And when Ayush was talking, I thought that I'll share this, that our interns are working on sales, right, generating leads. That is absolutely what you do in the organization as well. If you're working in marketing, you have to generate leads, and you have to
So,
generate use
yeah.
cases, which also I've seen that they were trying to compare the market and then try and understand what was the right point for us to be in as a company. So that is what we do as well. We're trying to figure out use cases for the customer and where it would probably be rightly fit in for the services that we offer. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. So, honestly, guys, I will tell you one thing, equally for everyone. आप प्रेबी में हो नहीं हो, बात की बात है. आप हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हो नहीं हो, जो भी आप यूट्यूब से वीडियो देखते हो, सीवी का, लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल बनाने का, वगैरह वगैरह, व्हाट्सएवर, टेक दैट एज अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट कि हाँ ये चीजें हैं. यूज योर ओन रीजनिंग, ओन लॉजिक बिहाइंड दैट, राइट. बिकॉज गाइस, अगर ये 1.5 आवर्स का सेशन नहीं होता, जस्ट 15-10 मिनट्स का होता, वी मस्ट हैव 200+ ऑडियंस है, राइट. और यूट्यूब पे अगर हम अपलोड भी करते, हमें काफी व्यूज मिलते, हमारे लिए फीजिबल होता, वो हम 10 मिनट का ज्ञान देकर निकल जाते, राइट. बट यार खुद से सोचो तो लॉजिकल वे में कि हाउ द थिंग्स इज एडिंग अप फॉर यू एंड हाउ दे आर नॉट. So guys, yeah, Saurabh, do you want to share your screen?
Uh, can we close the recording, because I don't want to record my recruiter's account. We
Oh
can
yeah,
actually
sure.
thank everyone for being here, and please stay. After this, we end the recording. Then I'll be sharing my screen and I'll be showing how I screen and reject resumes. So this is just for the guys who have taken the effort to be with us at 11:37. You definitely deserve this. I'll show you how recruiters work and share some insights, and I'll show you my dashboard.
एंड दिस इज अ रियल थिंग गाइस कि हाउ एचआर एक्चुअली वर्क। बस आके ज्ञान देने की बात नहीं है यहाँ पे, वी आर एक्चुअली शोइंग यू। एंड एक्चुअली आई डोंट नो वी आर अलाउड और नॉट यार सौरभ।
So I mean, I'm not allowed, but that's why I'm not going to record it.
सो गाइस या टेम्पलेट की बात हमने करी थी, वो आपको मिलेगा सेशन खत्म होने से पहले भी मिल जाएगा, और जब ये वीडियो रिकॉर्ड होगी वहां भी मिल जाएगा, सो डोंट वरी, आपको वो मिलेगा। सो आई एम जस्ट पॉजिंग।
A big thank you to all of you for joining. Yeah, and hope you do well in your preparations and everything. That's